What's going on, True Squad? It's your boy BTB Swaggy. It's been a long time. I think some of y'all gonna recognize me, some of y'all might not. There's been a lot of people that joined the family recently. I definitely got a lot of stories to tell y'all. For the meantime, I'll be telling some of those stories on the BTB Universe, BTBRevolution.com. You can catch me there at BTB Swaggy22. Find me on there and other like-minded individuals, other artists that you might like too, especially underground artists that you may never heard of and you might definitely take a con to. And while you're on there, you're gonna see some apps, whether you're on your phone, computer, laptop, whatever. You're gonna see some apps on the bottom of your screen, and that's gonna be the dashboard. And it's gonna have all these other apps. Those I will explain as time goes on, as further videos release, explaining those, you know what I'm saying? Spin your music on there just to give it a little test run. I'll explain all that in further videos. But right now, we will get into the video at hand. So let's jump into that. All right, squad. So I know y'all heard of the Tendernism, Keith Lee, Destination Smokehouse situation going on. Some of you may know, some of you may not. I know some of it, followed a little bit of it, yo, but I ain't finished all of it. So I figured I'd take y'all with me through this journey as I, figure all this out. So as I was doing the research, I found out that tendernism don't only relate to food, yo. So it says tendernism is a situation where government contracts, or they call them tenders, are rewarded unfairly, not to the most qualified or cost-effective bidder, but to people with political connections, family ties, or influence. Now, if you a dummy like me, you might need that in simpler terms still. In simpler terms, it's basically a formal document that is used by organizations, both public and private, to invite suppliers to provide goods or services. Not gonna lie, you probably asking why I'm bringing all this up, right? I brought it up because some people are still asking what do people mean by tenderism in this situation. So in this context, tenderism isn't about government contracts, obviously, right? It's being used loosely to describe restaurants expecting special treatment, clout-based access, or favors based off the influencer's status, connections, or the reputation, rather than earning business through doing the good service. So some people would rather refer to it as favoritism culture. This all started because of a gentleman and a brother by the name of Keith Lee. This guy right here. So Keith Lee, if you don't know, for some of you, he's a TikTok critic who does food reviews. And he is mostly blew up because people like the way that he goes about it, buys the food so you don't know that it's him, pays full price for it. And his reviews is based on the food, the service, and the accessibility. With all that being said, let's just jump straight into the video.
Okay guys, so I know you've all heard about Mr. Tendernism. It's floating all over the internet right now, right? It's that guy you see flipping out because his meat fell off the bone over at a restaurant called Destination Smokehouse, right? Now everybody is trying to get that same experience themselves, and you're gonna see a lot of people making skits about it. Now, lately, I have been seeing people's videos where they're finding out that he's not the restaurant owner.
I am confusion.
And they're freaking out because in most people's mind, he's the reason they even know about the place in the first place. So now there's controversy online about if he's even getting credited right or getting his fair share of the profit. So I'm like, all right, let me actually look into how this whole thing really started, right? Now, this place did not start as a barbecue joint, right? It started in 2016 as a coffee shop.
What?
Yeah, a coffee shop. And that already sounds crazy knowing what it is now. Then in 2019, Nick Yepremian takes it over after his father passes away. And by his own words, he wasn't trying to build some viral business or nothing. He was just trying to keep the place alive. Then towards the end of 2019, this dude, Walter Johnson, walks in.
Good evening.
The same guy everybody knows as Mr. Tendernism. Now he comes in, right, starts talking to Nick's mom, and she talks to Nick, and she tells him, hey, this guy's looking for a job, right? So Nick gives him a shot. Walter tells Nick, hey, by the way, I can make a bomb gumbo. Nick says, okay, let's see it. He bring it in, and they love it. And boom, it gets added to the menu. Walter gets the job. Now, over time, Walter starts teaching Nick things.
Hold on, so not only was he like pretty much the face of it, but he also up with most of the ideas or some of the ideas too.
But how to think like a restaurant and how to expand and be creative with the space. Nick even says it himself. At first, he thought Walter was crazy. Then 2020 hits, right? COVID. Everything shuts down. They're closed for like a month and a half. And during that shutdown, Walter calls Nick and says, hey, you remember them ribs I used to make? We should sell them. Nick was like, bro, this is a coffee shop. There's no real kitchen. It's a historic building. None of this makes sense. But eventually he agrees to try it. So what they actually do, they bring a smoker and they start cooking outside.
Give your meat a good old rub.
And that's how Destination Smokehouse was born. Not from a big plan, not from investors, just one idea. And it worked. At first, it was just a few proteins and some items, just something to get people back in after COVID. But over time, it starts turning into something more serious. Now here's the part that people don't understand, right? The roles that Nick and Walter play are different. Walter is the one who sparks the idea and becomes the personality everybody remembers. But at the same time, Nick is the one who turned this thing into a real operation. He had to learn how to cook at scale. He has to build a team. He has to build systems. And he even says there was a lot of pressure because he had to learn all this really fast.
And I felt like it was a win-win for everybody, no? Not only is the owner learning new things, but Mr. Johnson was also getting more recognized, bringing more to the business, which leads to more money. I feel like everybody was getting a win-win, yo.
Then the team grows. You get guys like Butcher Bill, and now it's a real crew. Then one day, while they were just filming, Walter says the word tendernism, based on the way the meat would just fall off the bone.
Yeah, boy.
Then in 2025, the video finally goes crazy. People start driving from all over the world just to try it themselves. TikTok is just full of people posting their own clips trying to get the same exact moment. And Nick even says this on camera. A lot of people got to know about them. The only reason why they know about them is because of Walt. Now, this is where the story shifts. The Keith Lee situation. Keith Lee goes to the restaurant and he actually tries the food. And from his own video, he did like it. The main thing he kept praising was the oxtails. The rest of the food, he said it was good too. Not like the best food ever, but definitely solid. Now after that, he was trying to meet Walter and leave him a huge tip, like around $4,000 tip. But that day, he never gets to see him. He's told Walter isn't there, or he's done for the day, or like he's filming something. Either way, Keith Lee leaves without ever meeting him. So Keith Lee posts a video saying basically he tried to give him the tip, but couldn't reach him. Now the internet sees that and goes, wait, how you don't let Keith Lee meet the main guy? Some people took it as disrespect. Some people think the restaurant handled it badly. Some people think it's a black man that's trapped like the guy in Get Out. And some people even thought that maybe like Mr. Tendernism thought he was too good for Keith Lee. It's comments everywhere, right? Now guys, the restaurant explains the situation later. They make a post. And I saw the video, guys. You're gonna see Nick sitting next to Mr. Tendernism, right? And I hate to do this, but he was basically like, you guys acting like he runs the joint and I'm just the money man. Like, what you guys gotta understand is what Keith Lee did basically shortchanges the rest of the workers here.
I disagree, bro. I don't think it shortchanges the workers at all. Maybe the workers feel more prideful. Food they cook is going more viral. You ever think about that?
You don't realize that there's a lot of other people that work here, and also I'm the one that put this all together. I swear, I'm the guy. I did this. I took this coffee shop and took it from the ground up, and it was going bankrupt, and I was bro. Then some other guy gets on the camera to talk about the Keith Lee situation too, and he's like, yeah, well, there's guy walked in, and I ain't know who he was. He was just, you know what I'm saying, trying to be around Mr. Tendernism, and see, we don't know who you are, so I just sent him packing. What? Now, when I heard this, I didn't want to be in my ego, but it's like saying you don't know who Keith Lee is like saying you don't know who Gordon Ramsay is. Like, Keith Lee, I would say, is the biggest food reviewer for restaurants. Every restaurant almost dreams to have Keith Lee review their food. So it's hard for me not to be like, okay, some hating going on here. I don't know. Then Nick starts talking again, and he says, I don't know why Keith Lee thought that Mr. Tendernism needed a $4,000 tip. He don't need no handouts. You make it seem like he's broke or something, like he's a whole business owner. Now, when he said business owner, guys.
I ain't gonna lie, when he say business owner, that's how you know a nigga hate. He was lucky trying to put him down, bro. It's obviously just envy and jealousy, because bro ain't get the $4,000 to go eat some donuts or whatever. Is it fucked up for me thinking like this? It's the owner's responsibility to make his employees feel appreciated. You know what I'm saying? They could have been jealous of Mr. Johnson because he getting all the attention. Just because he getting all the attention. To sit there and throw that on Keith Lee and try to make him feel like, yo bro, you supposed to acknowledge everybody when he only sees one face.
I swear to God, guys, everything online, there is nothing online that says that Mr. Tendernism is a business owner. Unless there's just something that we don't know, he's not a business owner. So now I am questioning the integrity. It sounds like damage control. And this is where also a lot of other people found out that Mr. Tendernism wasn't an owner by checking the websites and noticing that it only says Nick. After that, people started noticing that Destination Smokehouse, like on their videos, TikTok, whatever, you're gonna see like videos without Mr. Tendernism, just the owner. And this becomes a continuing pattern. So people started saying, where's Mr. Tendernism? Okay. We know what's going on. Y'all trying to get rid of him. Y'all don't like that his face was all over your brand, so now you're trying to remove him from the content so that he's not a part of it no more, which is crazy because he's the one that put y'all on. Now, you're gonna see a lot of videos saying that Mr. Tennernism got fired or that he got sent away. Now, I'm gonna let you know this. None of them, nobody knows for sure. They're just posting it's a weird echo chamber. One of the reasons why they're saying this is because there's a video that's being posted and circulating. You're gonna see Mr. Tennernism and Nick, and it looks like Mr. Tennernism is getting on a flight. Nick is like, yeah, he's about to go home. He has some stuff that he has to go do. And then Mr. Tennernism is like, yeah, I got some business. So I'll see you guys later, Dallas. Until next time, I'll see you again. And that video.
Gang, what business would he have to attend? I mean, granted, it could have been family issues. It could have been anything in this world. Where is he from, anyway? And where was he sending him on that flight? Unless he's gonna mention it in the video later, but where is he sending him in that flight?
Right there is what's making everybody be like, okay, y'all fired him. Y'all got rid of him. For sure. I'm not gonna lie, when I heard he was the one who really inspired the barbecue idea and pushed the coffee shop in that direction, I was like, all right, man. Mr. Tennernism better be getting some kind of financial reciprocation for that. Because it just seems like he played a major role. But at the same time, we gotta be real. We're not there. We don't know their relationship. We don't know their agreements. We don't know what they've talked about behind the scenes. So if Nick and Walter are cool, then I'm cool. And I've been seeing them online, they seem cool. It is possible that something could be going wrong behind the scenes, but you guys got to remember the internet is really good for making up stuff that's not happening. You know what I'm saying? But you know, sometimes you be looking at something, you be like, nah, your spirit be like, something's wrong here. I don't know. But for now, guys, this video ends here. As I always say, what do you think about this?
Yeah, that's my thing too. What do y'all think about this, bro? This is an interesting situation. I ain't never seen nothing like it before. Do y'all feel like the owner's in the right? Do y'all feel like Keith Lee was in the right? Yeah, let me know your thoughts, man. This is pretty thought-provoking. What are you mad at to begin with? I mean, in my opinion. But anyway, y'all, I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one. There's more to explain, more to react to, and more news to get out there. So as always, peace.
But then face to face. Now I know in part, but then I shall know just as I also am known. But I see another law in my members, warring against the law of my mind. BTB, conversating with the men just so it don't feel